Well, Broncos Country, what is going on? What is going on? It is your boy here, Marky Sports, man. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday. And I'm getting ready for this weekend. I can't wait to see the Broncos in them sexy, throwback uniforms. They're looking great. But more importantly, man, I'm looking forward to the Broncos ending this terrible 8-game losing streak that we have to the Raiders. It's embarrassing. And we're going to talk about the game. Is this the game that Bo Nix, we call it the Bo Nix breakout game? I think it is. Let's talk about why it is. Guys, if it's your first time visiting, please watch some of my other videos, hit like for the algorithm, and smash that subscribe button. If you could, that would be really helpful. I'm on a mission to get to 500 subscribers, and I appreciate your help in advance. So I appreciate it, guys. If you love Denver sports, you're coming to the right place. So let's do it. All right, guys, we're prepping for the Broncos Raiders week, man. Raiders week is always, every year, whether we're a really good team or a really bad team like we've been lately, it's always one of my favorite weeks. I love prepping to play them. I'll always and forever hate everything about the Las Vegas slash Oakland Raiders. But obviously, they have an 8-game winning streak against us, which has been killing me inside. It's probably killed me more than the 15 games that we had to the Chiefs prior, because at least the Chiefs were good, right? We've been losing to the Raiders, and the Raiders have sucked too. So time to end that on Sunday. A lot of key things going on here. Devontae Adams, obviously, he's not going to play with some trade rumors and a hamstring injury. His days there with the Raiders are numbered. Always a good thing for us. Another keynote is Max Crosby looks like he is practicing today. They say they're hopeful of him playing, so we'll have to see. But that's a ginormous factor in this game overall. I think regardless, the Broncos should beat this team, especially being at home. I think we're more talented. I think we're better. I think we're better coached. I think there's a lot that go into it. But the Raiders are going to be scrappy, and you know what Max Crosby does against us, especially with a backup right tackle. Even though Palczewski's been an absolute stud, he's still going to be a huge X factor as to how this game ends up going. I ultimately do think he plays. I think he might be a little bit limited with the high ankles, can be a little tricky, but we'll have to just wait and see. They're also very beat up at linebacker. Very beat up at linebacker. They have 2 starters that are actually out for the game, and their starting running backs out, but that's probably a better thing for them because I think Alexander Madison's been better than Zamir White. But it looks like Divine Diablo and Luke Masterson, who's actually the backup for Divine Diablo, according to this article, are both out. So Tommy Eichenberg is going to get the start. He's a 5th-round pick. He is a rookie. So that could be an area in which we could try and see if we can exploit offensively, right? Utilizing the tight ends, hopefully, or Devon Vele, or something going on offense. So I think that we will. The Broncos defense is arguably the best defense in the league. So when we look at the way that we match up with them offensively, it should all go really smoothly. It should be one of those games where we make it very, very tough for them to score, especially with Devontae out. Now you can, be creative with how you use PS2. Who do you use them on? Riley Moss can hold down the other side, and they could just get at it and they can go. They're a very, very beat up team, and I think that their offensive line has shown that it can definitely be beat if needed. So I think that that's a huge, huge advantage for the Broncos defensively, obviously. Now on offense, it's all about reclaiming that identity, showing a little bit about what you did in the Tampa game and building on it. I think this has by far and away the best opportunity for the team to have a breakout game. Now, for a lot of obvious reasons, this is definitely the worst defense that we've probably faced this year. We've had a month of experience. We'll have some momentum now, two-game win streak, both on the road, returning home. We're in the throwbacks. There's so many things going on in our favor, which obviously could be scary as a fan. But still, this is a team that can definitely give up points and yards on defense, I mean. And offensively, the Broncos need to just be diligent. They need to be smart. I'd like to see them spreading the ball around, getting the hands in their playmakers. And I think Bo is going to look really comfortable this week. I just have that feeling that this is going to be that breakout game that we've all really been waiting for. I think in the 4 games that he's played, they've all been so unique in a lot of different ways too. on the games that we lost and the games that we won. And so I think that there's a lot of really good things to take from that. And I think that they win in convincing fashion. I'd also like to see us build up on that momentum of being able to run the football, especially if Max Crosby's playing, to be able to kind of limit his pass rush a little bit. I would like to see him really take it to another level on the run game and be able to continue with that, 4.5, 5 yards a carry like we were averaging, running out of the pistol, getting creative, and just get the ball in the hands of other guys and let them shine. In the post game presser, not post game, in the post practice presser today, the Friday press conference, Sean Payton said a couple things that I thought were really interesting. He was asked about Troy Franklin, and he said that he's somebody that we've always known is very good at running after the catch. And we just need to figure out ways to be able to exploit that. Now, they haven't been doing a good job of that because they've just been sending him on the deep routes. But him and Marvin Mims have those opportunities. I'm done talking about it because I feel like we've been talking about that for a long time. But it's noteworthy that he talked about it. Another thing that they said is that they talked about Vele. He said you're going to see Vele very, very soon. So I think for sure Devon Vele will be activated this week for this game. And in addition to that, I think that he is going to have a very big role right off the bat in this offense. Sean Payton went on to praise him and talk about how great he's looked and how much of a difference maker he is, and that he's just been looking really, really solid. So, the few week hiatus that they had, they held him out after the injury. I think it might have been health related. There might have been a couple other things that they were working through, but I'm excited to see Devon Vele back up and at it this weekend, and hopefully we do. But this is a Raiders team that is beat up, and they are very vulnerable right now. They have a lot of distractions around the Devontae Adams thing. But one thing that I've noticed about the Raiders, especially under Antonio Pierce, is that they do not quit. Man, this team's got a lot of guts, a lot of heart. They had a poor showing week one versus the Chargers. They lost. And then they end up going to Baltimore and winning that game in comeback fashion, which was crazy, right? And then they ended up taking a loss, but they played pretty hard in that other game. I can't think about who it was that they played. Let me look it up. And then last week, got off to a terrible start. I mean, I guess it was against the Browns, but they got off to a terrible start, and they fought and clawed their way back in, and they ended up really stealing the game, the refs. But whatever, we won't talk about it. They ended up stealing that game. So they've been a very confusing team, right? When they've looked really bad, like they had versus the Chargers and the Panthers, which is the week 3 loss, they lost in a convincing fashion. But in the games that they've won, it's been really scrappy. And the difference is really that if the Raiders going into the second half or specifically the fourth quarter, it seems like if they feel like there's a chance the game is within reach, they end up executing really well. But if they kind of get the nail in the coffin early, then they might just, fold and flop over. So a quick start is very, very important. And I would not mind it if the Broncos won the coin toss this week, if they just said, give us the ball and let's get at this. Let's force them to play from behind. As for the Raiders, like I said, I mean, and then, with all the injuries that they're battling too, there's a lot of things. On the Raiders side, for us, when you look at, okay, what matchups could they exploit or how do they match up against us? There's really not so much to highlight per se, but that's kind of been the theme for the last several years that we've played them. And yet they've always found a way to win. It seemed like when our team was figuring out something, like let's say we were running the ball well or we were stopping the run well, they would do the opposite. So if we were running the ball really good, we couldn't run against them. If we were stopping the run well, they would run against us. And then it seemed like they would always have a lot of those long 11, 12, 13 play drives where we couldn't get off the field. And so obviously that is something that we desperately need to avoid. Gardner Minshew, I like him. I like Gardner Minshew a lot as a quarterback. He's definitely a backup, but I like him a lot. But he's kind of like a poor man's version of Baker Mayfield in a sense of you can rattle him, and when you do, he's going to give the ball away. So we need to get to him, and we need to shut down his first couple reads and roll with it. So I really do, guys. I believe that this is going to be the Broncos' breakout game. I think Bo Nix goes for well over 60% passing. I think he goes for 250, maybe even 300 yards in this one. And I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say he gets 3 touchdowns this weekend and 0 interceptions. I think that there's just a lot rolling for him. I just feel like when I, see how they've been playing, And I also listen to a lot of the players talk and the coaches talking. It just seems like there's this energy. It seems like this is the team that it is starting. It's going to really, really start to take off. Yes, they are on a 2-game win streak, but I mean, actually looking good. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think the Broncos win 34-18. I just had to make it a weird score. I think it's that kind of a game, but y'all know me. At the end of the day, I don't care how we win. I just want to get the W. What do you guys think? What do you think is one of the scary things about playing the Raiders this week? And what are you feeling optimistic about? Let me know below in the comments. Until next time, guys, go Broncos, baby. Enjoy this weekend. Spend time with those people that you love the most. And until next time, and we'll have a video tomorrow, but can't wait to go live with y'all on Sunday. But until then,